Welcome to part 30 of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. It's time for us to do our usual and check out the chirper starting every chapter. Chapter 6 is no different, and now we've got ourselves some more memory, which means we should have more than enough memory for us to get the CPU candidates. Also, we got another plan. I think this is for an accessory, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the engage ring. That is an accessory to unlock via the plans. And that's actually a item you could buy in the shop once you unlock it. And this plan is for the show bikini. Shino bikini. Actually, that is for Marvelous AQL swimsuit. Even though you buy it, not buy it, even though you make the plan for it, you have to buy it. And speaking of making the plan for and buying, we just got the plan for Energy Lump as well. And I'm pretty sure we have more plans as well. So this plan, oh wait, I thought that was a plan, but no, that's actually just a chirper, that's all. And this one's chirper as well. So that means we're going to have to continue on with the story in order to progress things. And ironically enough, Chapter 6 is the shortest chapter in the game, as far as for action-based stuff is concerned. Yeah, and I'm showing off, we still got like 2,353 megabytes, so all I need to do is just get the God Soul and also the Shining Whale Balloon, the Shining Whale Ball, and I also want to try to show off the ribbons. That's actually for the Sheriff's Quest. The ice ribbons will only become available after you've unlocked Rom and Ram in either Chapter 7 or Chapter 8. So on that note, we still got other things to do. Most of these plans will not be unlocked until we get some of the dungeons that have these items in Chapter 7 and 8. So, what all we have here? And that's also chirper. So I guess we have no choice but to go to Neptune. Since there's nothing here, let's do that. Oh wait, no, there is some stuff here. And, well, there's nothing here, I guess. As far as chirper, but only the Neptune Basilicom. That's the only thing. So let's go on with that, shall we? And yes, this is not a talking cutscene. I'm truly surprised the people have not remembered Neptune's face. I'm pretty sure they could have actually acknowledged her by now, but I guess not. So, with that said, they still can't pronounce her name to save her life, even though her name is literally in the town. So on that note, we're still looking for the dungeon where Histoire is residing. And unfortunately, we're going to have to actually do a, I would say, needle in the haystack chase. That's a wild goose chase. That's the best way to put it. It's the same thing, needle in the haystack, a wild goose chase. But, unfortunately, we won't be able to find that area until we go through lots and lots of plot. But Chapter 6 is infamous. I mean, Chapter 6 around this time would be where the rematches actually start to get even more frustrating in the first game. And also Chapter 6 is where you actually do, once you get your last key fragment, come here to battle it out with Neptune. It goes straight into a cutscene where you battle it out with Neptune. So if you're not at the high enough level, you weren't going to win. But not in this game. We have to go through Mountain of Cutscenes before we even remotely go into our next dungeon. So, I wouldn't say a mountain of cutscenes, more like a good number of them at least. And now the Basilicom staff is actually starting to be reminded of who Neptune is. Maybe that'll come back a little bit later. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go to 3 different areas just to find out. Oh, no, I don't mean like 3 different areas, more like 3 different cutscenes just to find out where the area is. So, on that note, we'll have to go back to Planeptune and also go to Leanbox. I think there's a new plan there, at least. This is actually a plan for powerful enemies to appear in, if I'm not mistaken, Yukawa Ruins. Unfortunately, we haven't unlocked that yet. Not till Chapter 8. And now, we run into Falcom. Somebody we haven't seen in a while. Or unfortunately haven't played with. So, Falcom is going to let us in on a little secret that, no, there is, oh, who am I kidding? There is no secrets here yet. We haven't found the dungeon, and neither has she, so we're probably just gonna have a funny conversation. But she does mention something about retracing steps, so that will come into play. However, cutscene-wise, not actual gameplay-wise. And to be honest, this would be the time for you to go and start training to get yourself up to at least level 85. This would be a good time for you to do that. Because the monsters are actually pretty stronger around this chapter now. And in this part, we're going to actually talk to Broccoli. And of course, she doesn't have any information of the dungeon. The only thing you get from this is the exchange of Broccoli being called Puchiko, and yet Broccoli is getting offended by being called Puchiko. And for the record, Puchiko is a character from Digicharen, which is what the game, or should I say the company Broccoli, produce. Which is why she looks like a character from Digicharen. And poor Broccoli, she keeps reminding Neptune of people who, of every time she like mispronounces her name or missays her name on purpose. And Neptune busts out not even on hard mode. Well, there technically isn't a hard mode in this game, but there is tougher enemies, and I would rather go on because, see, the thing about tougher enemies, it only made them difficult, but it doesn't give you a reward. That's the thing. I mean, you can unlock it, but that's it. Meanwhile, Neptune is talking to Tekken, who has absolutely no clue of where the dungeon may be. And how the dungeon may be hidden somewhere. So on that note, we're practically in a wild goose chase. But I will be right back. Sorry about that brief interruption. Around the time of this recording, they decide now to come to put a new meter onto my house. Nonetheless, everybody came up with nothing as far as their search for the dungeon for Histoire's location. Now here is the thing. Once we find that dungeon, that's the entirety of Chapter 6. I wish I was kidding, folks. This is the shortest chapter of the game. This whole part right here is basically cutscenes. And yeah, we're gonna start that dungeon too while we're at it. And also, I probably may have accidentally did some things off screen. I'll show off a little bit later, but for right now, here's the thing. When it comes down to this dungeon here, once we get to it, that's basically it. It's gonna be a long dungeon with at least 2 battles, and that's all. At least it's not gonna be a gauntlet like it was in Chapter 5. But I am gonna tell you this. After this chapter, you thought the BS with Chapter 4 and 5 not being able to use your HDD form was bad enough. We're nearing the part where it's going to be even more egregious than that. I still like this game, don't get me wrong, but it can be annoying at times. And all fingers point straight to where Neptune went head first in. It's ironic that the very first spot Neptune lands is right where the dungeon is located. I kid you not. That was the only way she was able to find, well, at least to contact Histoire. And Cyberconnect 2 is there too. Ironically enough, we'll get to play as her near the end of the game. Well, not like I'm going to be able to... Well, actually, yeah, we are going to be able to play as Cyberconnect 2 at the end of the game. As well as Tekken and Broccoli. So, all the makers we just got finished seeing, we're going to deal with those guys at the end of the game. But for right now, we'll have to find this dungeon and find Histoire. In fact, we'll get to that point soon enough. And also, this is where Platypus' key fragment was. And this is all going back to part 4 where we fought R4. So everything all comes full circle right here. And as soon as they found the planet key, there happens to be a hidden wall right in the dungeon. And nobody actually noticed this, not even R4. No, wait, let me rephrase that. R4 actually noticed that. And she didn't actually do anything about it because she did not have the means to get Histoire's power. Now, she may just get Histoire's power. Well, she may have the means for it because we have the key fragments, which means we can actually free Histoire the moment we get to her. But as you already know, it's not going to be that easy. Whatever the case, we've just found the dungeon, and obviously enough, we're going to explore it. The only thing Neptune's worried about is a bucket of pudding. But yes, by doing this, we found Fantasy Zone, which I also have a risky foes unlocked for that too. I also should get like, oh yeah, and there's a plan for the risky foes for Fantasy Zone as well. And also the plan for the change items for Fantasy Zone. Unfortunately, we may be able to unlock a lot of things at the end of the game, basically. And we just got plans for Royal Armor and Royal Bracelet. Those are some of the more powerful accessories in the game, but the Goddess Bangle is definitely more powerful. And we also got a plan for the Adjutant Forest Pass. Is there anything else? No? Well, we'll just have to... Oh wait, hold on. There's something else here. And this is a plan... This is a plan for Marvy's weapon over there. And this is a plan for an item. Well, Marvy's Shinobi Blade is actually pretty expensive, so we really can't get that right now. And we also got a healing bottle plan as well. With all the plans we just got, and I just realized, yeah, we're going to end up sacrificing a good bit of MB. I'm not trying to sacrifice enough to not buy the CPU candidates, because we are going to get some more megabytes at the beginning of Chapter 7, but still, I don't want to do too much. And there's still some dungeons that I need to unlock. Need to get the ad enemies for Fantasy Zone. Oh wait, I thought I have... No, wait, I don't have fan ad. Wait, I have to think for a second. I don't have the ad Fantasy Zone plan unlock. Instead, that's just a special event, which basically is the end of the chapter. So on that note, I'll be right back. I'm back. I just had to wait till all the construction stopped because they're building a storage unit right across the street from my house. Anyway, what I just went to is the fact of me getting a medal for beating a wild Pirachu, which just so happened to show up in the Gunbreaker Underground Cavern. I'm gonna have to show that off too. I managed to get myself a new disc, and it is the VDD ROM, which, by the way, allows me to use up to a level 2 yellow ideal disc, a level 3 blue ideal disc, and a level 4 red ideal disc. So on that note, let me try to see which one I could put in here. Ah, crud. I only got level 2s and level 3s. I barely have... Well, actually, no. I can use level 2s, but I only got, like, level 1s and level... No, level 4s and level 3s. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I have a few level 3s around here, but I could just pick one random one. I know this is taking a little too long, but yes, there is going to be some action, and we're going to be going through Fantasy Zone just a moment. And I'm not going to forget to put this disc on somebody at least. Oh, this will increase drop rate. Now, if only I had a level 4 of that. Let's see. We need... Actually, now that I stop and think about it, we could use a gradual EXE fill. And, we do have it! Hold on. I'm gonna put that instead. Now, if there's any other things I've just gotten, well, aside from gain credits, gain experience, I'll just go for... No, not critical defense. No. Nope, get back there. I'm going to put the gradual EXE fill. And there's a good reason why I'm going to do that. And that is because of the fact that once I get... let's see, once I get Neptune, ROM, and RAM, I'm going to give them one of these discs. So let's see which one I can give. EXE charge. Perfect. I'll make it level 2. Or level 1 since I don't have a level 2. Well, at least that one's worked. Now for the last one. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. Let's see. I don't need any E-charge. I will use... let's see. Do they have reduce SP? Consume SP down level 1. Yeah, I'll use that one instead. And since this one's a level 4, I guess I could use a physical defense one. Why not? All these discs are gonna be used. So there we go. Now without further ado, let's go to Fantasy Zone. There really isn't much to show for Fantasy Zone. There's only a limited amount of enemies, and that's before I put in the dangerous enemies, or just to say risky foes. And we'll probably see them all by the time we actually get to the boss of the dungeon. As a matter of fact, I ended up getting into a surprise attack. This is Tessri. Tessri is a defensive type monster, and it just gave a defensive and magic defensive boost to the Plummet. Tessri obviously is a play on Tetris, if you probably haven't guessed. And Plummet is the warp pipes from the Mario franchise.
It's my turn.
So, on that note, we're gonna have to try to use, I think, wind attack works on these guys, because they're earth-based monsters. I know that for a fact. And I wanted to try to get rid of 2 of them at once, but it looks like that's not gonna happen. And that was another reason why I went on and did things off screen, so I could grind, so that way many of my characters be between level 75 and level 80. Uzume is still at level 60. No, just recently gotten to level 62, I think. No, it wasn't 58. I think it was 58. So Uzume's not even out of the 50s yet. She will be by the time I'm done with this. So on that note, we just got rid of those guys and they haven't dropped anything yet. Which means we're going to probably make more frequent visits just so we can find out what they drop. Let's see.
What's this?
Freak Diamond. That is a weapon for IF. I'm pretty sure there was 2 more monsters here, if not 3. I'm trying to remember. But I do know there is this guy. Might as well say hi to him. Oh, and there's a Pox Vader too. Forgot about that guy.
An ambush?
No, that's a Malvader. That's even worse. Malvaders use virus attacks. So, it's pretty much like every other Malvader. And if you're wondering what's up with Uni's outfit, she has the Planeptune special, yes. So she is wearing a purple outfit with a white hair, I guess. It doesn't do anything to her stats, but the hair ribbon she's wearing actually does increase her stats. That is something that you've unlocked once you get Uni available in your party and actually play in New Game Plus. We have to aim for these things. It's kind of messed up, you know. That's probably the only problem with Uni. You have to position yourself to get to a point where you can actually aim for the enemies. And this is a plan for Real Angel Wings. And Real Angel Wings, if I'm not mistaken, will 100% revive a character. Like, not only will they revive, they'll be back to full health. And we are attacking...
Let me show you my power.
We're attacking this, Oh, who are you again? It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna transform and try to beat the hell out of you. Because after all, we've got other things to do. Although we won't be able to beat the stage this part, that will be next part, as well as beating the entirety of Chapter 6. Because I'm not kidding, this whole stage is the entirety of Chapter 6. It is Hey, that's not Cerberus! It's just a dog! It's another model of a dog. Didn't change his color or anything. He doesn't have 3 heads. He's not Cerberus. Or Kerberos. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, that's not him. I find it weird that every last person would name their dog Kerberos even though they're not a 3-headed dog. Just because it sounds cool. Why?
May your spirit be cleansed from existence.
And no, I'm not making a joke. That's kind of a nitpick there.
My turn.
Well, it's kind of over for Kerberos because he's not going to be able to, you know, attack like talking about it. Because I've lowered his tech, I've lowered his evasion, and I've lowered his agility.
There.
Oh, and I've even lowered his mental defense. So there's that too. So this is going to be somewhat of an easy fight.
It's my turn.
Oh, there is that green mist that actually does drop the stats of your characters. Other than that, he's not that hard. Provided you're at level 71 or 80. I mean, Neptune's in the 80s, but everyone else not so much.
Heading in.
But if you're still struggling at level 71, believe me, Chapter 7 would be the best time for you to grind. Because Chapter 8, I mean, it's not like a but thou must, but Chapter 8 will have like the last level of the game available. And the last level of the game, you can't just waltz in there and just like beat up people. Oh, well, okay, let me rephrase that. You can't just waltz in there and expect to beat everything up if you're not strong enough. Because Celestia will kick your ass, plain and simple. You can waltz in, you can destroy all the enemies, but you can't waltz out. Well, actually you can, but so long as you don't activate the event, but still. It would be best for you to be prepared for this sort of thing. Just like you should be prepared for the boss of this stage. Not this stage, but rather be prepared for the boss of Fantasy Zone, or at least Chapter 6.
I feel stronger.
Although Plutia and Histoire are now at level 5. I mean, level 85, sorry. So they're at their appropriate level. And there is a hidden item over there, so let's go on ahead and find that. And oops. Well, we found all the enemies, so yeah. This is a Cyberfly.
Can't be.
Cyberflies, they lower the agility and the tech, which is basically your evasion, and also how far you could actually walk. But getting rid of a Cyberfly is not going to be hard, so long as you use fire attacks at least. Or pound away at it because it's physically weak. Well, its physical defense is weak, that's what I meant to say. Nonetheless, we just need to chop down these two monstrosities here, and we'll be done.
I won't go easy.
Because we've got just about all the enemies in the stage before I actually manage to get the plan for the risky foes.
Ninja art, Katom!
And that takes care of that. Oh, let's see. We got a tube antenna from the Malvader. Well, at least they dropped something. Now then, where is that hidden item? Oh, it's over there. So once we get the hidden item, we're gonna call it a part. In the next episode, we're actually going to finish off Chapter 6. This is RPMan985. I'll see you guys next time. We're ending Chapter 6 in the next part. So stay tuned for Part 31.